back with another episode 2. And today I'm with the beautiful... Introduce yourself.
Carolyn, not Caroline.
Not Caroline, Carolyn.
Carolina.
Who is a gorgeous, gorgeous mother of 3 beautiful little kids.
Oh,
I haven't even seen them, but I know because I can tell from
thank you. They're actually ugly. I'm kidding.
And on today's episode, we're just going to be talking a little bit about PCOS journeys, hormones that are just like roller coasters. We're going to dive into some embarrassing period stories again, and just basic sex education when it comes to the female body. All right, let's start with the hormones. Tell me, how do you feel about your hormones?
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, in the last 6 years, I've literally had 3 pregnancies. So it's been like,
Yeah.
and just like every time it's a different reaction. Like every pregnancy, I'm either like crying and emotional. My last pregnancy, I literally was telling someone the other day, I had so much anger. It was actually like put me in jail. Like it was insane. And it was all just hormonal because it was like I had no self-control.
Yeah.
Over just like all these imbalances.
Yeah. Compared to like your first pregnancy.
Oh my word, my first pregnancy, I was like, I'm a little fairy.
It was a breeze.
The last one, I was like, I'm a raging hippopotamus. I will take you all out with me.
Or the middle one, kind of like a balance between the two.
The middle one, I pretty much just vomited the whole time.
Oh, you're just sick the whole time.
But I think what's actually harder with the hormonal imbalances is after pregnancy, because you kind of just assume like, oh, your hormones are going to be like up and down during pregnancy, but no one talks about afterwards. It's pretty much just like a drastic like change in your body, and you go from like being super sad and down and all these expectations placed on you, the changes in your body and milk and hormones, and just juggling like all that comes with that. Like even my skin, like I'll get rashes after babies.
Yeah.
And I think it's, often neglected.
Oh. Did you ever suffer from the postpartum depression like phase?
Definitely in my second pregnancy, I had drastic postpartum depression because my first baby, he was born premature by 2 months. And I think like the trauma from that hit me when I had my second baby, because she was born with a cleft palate. And so I was kind of like, I'm a failure. It's all my fault. And then just the pressure of needing to breastfeed her, and she couldn't. And my hormones were just like all over the place. And I found myself just like get into such a dark place. But as a woman, you feel like I need to hide what's going on with my hormones to please other people. Like, let me not reach out. Let me not speak to other people about it to make other people comfortable.
Yeah, sort of like portray yourself as this perfect mother that has got everything under control and knows what she's doing. But
inside it's like,
Yeah. And then how did you like cope, like getting through that depression and coming out on the other side?
I think what actually helped is I had to reach a point where I had to acknowledge, like, okay, you can't pretend there's like you don't have postpartum depression. Let me reach out and like speak to my husband, speak to my gynecologist, and just be like, I'm actually not okay, and I think my hormones are up and down, like I need help.
Yeah.
And then after I asked for help, I was like, oh my word, life's worth living again. I'm back.
Did they put you on like any like medication and stuff for that, or did you just get through it?
I went on to some medication that the gynecologist put me on, and I was so reluctant because I was like, oh, I don't need it. I don't want like the shame around that. But I think as soon as I did take it, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm a better mom for actually just like getting, and the doctor just kind of explained like, this is basically like your 42nd trimester, like after the baby, everything's wild. You just need to like level your hormones out and come to like back down to reality.
And how are your hormones now?
I honestly think only now they're like evening out, coming back to normal after my third baby. Especially when you're breastfeeding, you don't even get a period.
Oh,
So
I didn't know that.
So pretty much, I think I only got my first period when he was maybe 15 months old.
Okay.
And then it's like you feel like you're 14 again. Like, oh my goodness, there's so much blood. Help me.
Yeah.
What's a tampon? Like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, but so like now, sorry, how long ago was your last pregnancy?
My last pregnancy was I gave birth 21 months ago.
21 months ago. So it took 21 months basically for your hormones to start balancing out again.
I think, to be honest, they say it takes like 3 years for a woman to fully recover from a pregnancy and like everything kind of just go back to normal. Like your uterus is so expanded. Your hormones with breastfeeding are thrown out. So releasing, like when baby feeds, like different hormones are released to produce milk.
Yeah.
So
it's just everything's all over the show basically.
I keep saying I'm going to stop breastfeeding. I think if I stop, it will also help me even everything out.
Yeah, probably. But don't they say like the breastfeeding is, if you are able to breastfeed,
Yes.
it is the better option
Yes.
for the baby.
And cheaper.
And with your second born, because it was a bit difficult breastfeeding her, did you switch to formula instead? Or
So
did you just...
with the second one, I had to switch to formula because she wasn't born with the palates or any like nasal passages.
Yeah.
I actually found out she had it because when I'd breastfeed, milk would come out of her ears and her nose. And then I was like, this is not normal. And when I cried, it was like, I just saw everything.
Yeah.
So we had to go into formula, and like I shame myself for that. I feel like I put so much pressure on myself, but then also once I just was like, you know what, I'm not a bad mom.
Yeah.
This is she's fed, she's healthy. So that was bottle fed with like special
And hormonal. Okay. I don't know if you know much about PCOS. Do you?
I've definitely heard and read a lot on Instagram, and my sister-in-law has like told me about it.
Okay. So I honestly didn't know anything about PCOS until I started doing shoots with Jooce.
Oh, really?
And the whole, like every single time that we would like do a shoot and I'd be doing these videos, like these informative videos and stuff, I'd be like reading, I'd be like, that sounds that sounds so familiar. Like, wow. And I think I was like constantly in denial, and I was like, I don't have it. I just have similar symptoms. And then my sister actually got diagnosed with endometriosis first, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, I know everything about this. I can tell you everything because of Jooce. And I was like giving her like the layout and everything. I was like, you need to take this and this and this, and this is gonna help you. And like, you know, like it's fine. Like a lot of women like struggle with this. Like, don't even worry about it and stuff. And she was like, okay, but you also need to go get checked out because you have the exact same symptoms as me. And I was like, I'm fine. I
don't say that.
I'm good. And then eventually, like, my mom was like, no, like, you know, like, please go to the gynecologist and go, like, check yourself out, because my mom found out that she had fibroids, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, on her uterus. So she was like, no, go to my gynecologist. You need to go because like my period cramps especially would just be the most awful thing ever. And I would like get cramps like 2 days before my period even arrives. And the day of it, I wouldn't be able to function. I'd be dying basically.
Oh my god.
And my mom was like, it's not normal.
Yeah.
Like, you need to, like, please go. And then I went to the gynecologist. And he was like, yeah, you've got PCOS. And I was like, what a surprise. Wow. In the back of my head, I was like, I knew it. Like, I like started doing my own research on it and stuff, and it's like looking for PCOS friendly like diets and like foods and stuff, and it's like a whole thing, and it's sort of like a way I should have been living basically the whole time, but because I was just in denial, I was like, I don't know,
la 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 la.
literally, and now I'm like, okay, let me like look into this and stuff, and I still actually didn't change anything. But then my mom actually, her fibroids became really bad, so she had to go for a hysterectomy really recently.
Oh, wow.
And through that, I've actually started changing a lot about my lifestyle to help her out, because her hormones are, she says it's like being pregnant all over again.
Oh.
That's how her hormones are. Like, she's
down.
so emotional. She did like warn us before she went for the surgery, because she was reading up on it, and she told us, she was like, guys, like, I'm gonna be emotional, I'm gonna be crying for no reason, and I'm gonna be clingy, and I'm letting you guys know now, just be patient with me, please. We were like, nah, don't worry, it's nothing we can't handle.
And now?
Wow. Wow. So yeah, like her hormones are just doing like this, and I've had to look for like recipes and stuff that basically help with the inflammation and help with the hormonal balance and stuff. And in doing that, I'm starting to like apply to my own life as well.
That's actually so good.
Yeah, so it's, her going for this hysterectomy has sort of like forced me kind of to like take my PCOS very seriously, because all I've been doing is really just drinking my juice, which does help. I won't lie, I have actually seen a difference like pre-diagnosis and then post-diagnosis, where I started taking the juice every day. Mostly like actually because my friends were taking juice because my one friend has endo and another friend has PCOS, and they started taking juice because I was always doing the shoots, and they were like, you know what, we're going to give it a try. And I was like, let me know, like, do you feel a difference? And they genuinely felt a difference with their bodies, and like with the like they felt everything sort of like aligning, and they were like, like I feel better, I feel lighter, like I see a difference in my skin, and I see a difference in like, because like with PCOS and endo, you have a problem with like weight, like you gain weight and you can't lose the weight. Like you'll be going to the gym, you'll be dieting, but it just stays the same basically. I'm eating the same way I've always like eaten,
and it's all just hormones.
And it's like, it's because everything was imbalanced. And I was like, I would get so frustrated because I'd be like, I'm going to the gym 4 times a week, I'm eating clean. Like there was a point where I felt like I was even starving myself, because I was like,
I can relate to this so much. Like after the third baby, I'm like, I'm literally eating as minimal as I can. I'm gymming, I'm running, and I'm like, nothing's changing. It's literally just like wait out the hormonal changes.
Yeah. So like I would get so frustrated because I'm like, I'm not seeing any change, and my dad would always be like, oh no, but it's because like you're swapping the fat for muscle, and I'd be like, oh my gosh. Okay, then why don't I see a physical change? Then explain that to me. Like, you're a girl, man. These things happen. Like, my dad is very girl dad coded, basically. Okay. Like, he's always like, no, like, you're a girl. Like, things are different, Like, you've got other aspects to consider. You've got your hormones to consider. And he'd always mention, like, you've got your hormones to consider. Like, consider your hormones. Like, if one of us were having a breakout, he'd be like, well, like, maybe it's your hormones, like, don't stress. Like, it's normal. It's okay. It's fine. Where, like, I know, like, some girls obviously don't get that same experience with their dads, but shame.
My dad was much like your dad. Yeah. Like, I'd be, like, so emotional. And he's like, what time of the month is it? Are your hormones okay? Like, and I'd be like, well, actually.
But like never in like a oh, is it that time of the month?
Yes, kind of more in like a genuine concern. And even like you said, like breakouts, or even the weight, like when I was struggling with my weight after babies, like I'd complain and he'd be like, your hormones, you've just had a baby, there's so much changes. And I think when it comes from your dad, you're kind of like, he's just saying this to comfort me.
Literally. You're like, you have to say that, you're my dad.
Yeah, you have to be nice. Yeah. But then I'm like, it's actually true. It's genuine truth.
Yes, yeah. you know, like our mothers, they were never told about like PCOS and endometriosis and stuff. So like my mom is basically learning through my sister and I about PCOS and endometriosis and stuff, and she's like, huh,
Maybe.
my whole life is starting to make sense now.
Pieces are clicking together.
Yes, yeah. And I think it's like, it's so like wild that it's not something that they actually teach in school, because I had no idea what PCOS was until I started doing shoots for Jooce. Like, I'd never even heard of PCOS. I'd heard my one friend mention that she's got endometriosis, and I was like, okay, sorry, I don't understand what that is.
Shame.
Yeah, I was like, sorry.
I think having babies so young, I learned so much about it because so many women with it would struggle, like friends, to fall pregnant and with all pregnancy stuff. So that's when I would be more exposed to it and be like, oh my goodness, this is actually like, and a very common thing that a lot of women struggle with. I just feel like it shouldn't be a secret, periods or anything like that. I found out, I think I was in grade 6, and I was like, am I going to bleed for the rest of my life? Like, what? And it became like this dreaded waiting for my period, and like, I don't want to get my period, God. Like, scared. So with my kids, I'm like super open. Obviously, I don't go into graphic detail or like show them anything.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh no, mommy needs the bathroom. She needs privacy. I'm bleeding. Like, it's a girl thing. Or my sister often will be like chasing them out of her room, being like, so I'm like, no, she's on her period. And like kind of explain, like very brief for their age appropriate.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it shouldn't be anything to hide or be ashamed of or disgusted by. And I want not only my daughter to grow up feeling like confident in like not feeling disgusted or ashamed in herself, and I want my sons to grow up being like, oh, that's natural, and it's what happens with women. Like, not gonna be like, you stop talking, you're disgusting, blood, ew. Like, he must grow up and be like, no, it brings life into this world. If it wasn't for periods, like, it's what women are all about.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that's thank you for bringing up your kids that way. My brothers are like that. We're like, they know, like, it's natural, it happens. I think growing up with 3 older sisters.
Yes, I was about to say.
Like, obviously they don't have a choice but to accept that it's natural and stuff. So like, because I know my younger sister was the first one out of us 3 girls to get her period. And I remember like thinking like, oh, she's younger than me and she got her period. No, I don't. Like, why don't I have mine yet, you know? And I remember thinking like, oh, but I can't ask about these things, you know, it's you know? And then my older sister got a period and I was like, oh, wow, it's just me left. I was like, huh. Well, now what? Like, you know, and my younger sister got hers really young. She was in grade 4 when she got her period.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm the last one. Like, why am I not getting my period? And it was almost like this thing of like waiting to get it, but like being scared to ask, like, why haven't I gotten mine yet? Like, why is mine taking so long? And then the day that I got it, I was like,
why did I want this?
Oh my word. Take me back. Take me back right now. But I know that like, so at the time my youngest brother was, he was like in preschool still. Yeah. But like from then, like if we were like in like bad moods and stuff, then we'd just be like, no, like it's a different time of the month for us. Yeah. Like, you know, just like
give us a break.
Give us some space. Give us some space. And now he's 16 years old and he knows if I'm like, Tatum, no. He's like, got you.
That's the perks of having grown up with sisters, is you become, he'll be like the boyfriend or the husband that's like, knows what his wife needs, understands what she's going through and being like, okay, I understand. Like my brother was very good with that too.
Yeah, like super empathetic and stuff.
My husband, on the other hand, it's 3 boys and he would be like, why are you crying? You're scaring me. I'm like, period. He's like, I know, but do you have to cry so
Oh my
much?
gosh. I dated a guy who only had one younger sister, but he went to boarding school, so it's an all boys school, so he didn't grow up with his younger sister, and there was also like a huge age gap between them. And I remember the one day he was like, "Oh, my tummy's sore. I swear this is like worse than period cramps." I was like,
I would have jumped across the couch and been like, I will show you.
what? He was like, "No, like I'm telling you, this is worse than anything you've ever felt." I was like, what? I am sorry.
Yeah.
Rewind. I wanted to break up with him on the spot. I wanted to be like,
We're
over.
done.
We're done. But yeah, it was such like a different perspective for me, sort of like, because like I'm so used to my brothers, when I'm like, oh, like I've got cramps, they'll be like, oh, shame, like, do you need anything? Like my other brother, he's an adult, he's driving around and stuff. If like he knows that I'm like got cramps and stuff, he'll be like, do you need me to bring something home for you? Like, yes. I stop at the garage, like, you know, is there like anything that you want?
That's so cute.
And like the younger one, he'll just give me like my space or something. If I like fall asleep on the couch, he'll come with the blanket and put it over me. Like, he's so sweet.
This is what I want my sons to be like.
Yeah, no,
this is the
like,
goal.
So empathetic when I'm in that space, when I'm like feeling like sick, and they'll automatically think, anytime I'm feeling sick, they'll automatically think, oh, she's on her period. We need to be really like, gentle with her immediately. But yeah, like I'm really glad that it's never been like a taboo thing for them. Like they've never like been like,
don't talk about that. La la la.
Yeah, like they'll say it like sarcastically sometimes, which are, you know, life. Yes. But yeah, like it's never been like a serious thing where they're like, ew.
Genuinely,
yeah, they've always been, and I think that probably comes from my dad as well, who has had 3 daughters before anything, so he's a girl dad before he's a boy dad, and made sure his boys are like him.
That's so
in
good.
all of those aspects as well. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, no, for real.
Whoever's watching this is gonna be like, what's her brother's handles? Are they single?
The one is not, guys, unfortunately. Sorry.
Let's have him next on this podcast.
But yeah, no shame. I think I raised him really well.
Good job.
I think I raised him very well when it comes to his girlfriend and her like her needs and stuff. Like he's always like on top of the.
I'm like my husband's brother. He lives with us. He's much younger, 7 years younger than my husband. Okay. And I'm the type, like I've known him since he was 12. So I'm the type who's like, okay, I'm your sister now. This is what periods are all about. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to like make sure you know what it's like to have a sister.
Yes.
And there's times he's like, I know, I watch TV. Just don't tell me about it though.
Not the TV.
I'm like, I want to know what TV actually teaches you. But
TV does not teach the correct things.
Yeah.
TV loves to portray women as these hormonal monsters when they're on their period.
Well, even in pregnancy, I mean, I know I said I was like the devil on my last pregnancy, but you watch movies and it's like this pretty girl and then she falls pregnant and she's like, ugh, and then she has the baby and she's even more.
Yes.
And that's the end. And that's her character for like the rest of her life.
Yeah.
And so then I think women or people see that and go like, oh, there's so much shame around pregnancy and your hormone, and that's why it's like, let's pretend everything's fine so I don't look like that character on the movie, you know? The frumpy complaining wife.
100%.
So,
because like, have you also noticed they always have like 2 completely different pregnant women next to each other? The one is like this perfect one that's glowing and she's got no bad symptoms in her pregnancy. Like everything is just so easy and so amazing, and she loves being pregnant. And then next to her is like the character that is like having the worst pregnancy ever. She's got cankles and she's hungry all the time and she's sick and she's grumpy and she's all of that.
That is so true.
Yeah, and then everyone's striving to be that amazing pregnant woman who's just living her best life and can
do everything.
Go
put the world on her shoulders.
Race in a Formula 1 car while she's 9 months pregnant. And like it's unattainable basically.
And even like bounce back culture where it's like you have a baby and everyone's like, okay, you've had the baby, now are you fitting your jeans? post that bikini pic, give everyone like a 7 weeks postpartum pic, just to like reassure everyone, like, I promise I'm like back on track for my husband, where it's like, sometimes your hormones don't allow you to do that.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, you've got swollen milk boobs and your stomach, your uterus is still expanding. Like, it needs time.
I think we also have to blame Hollywood for a lot of that, because the celebrities will have their pregnancy. So I have this theory, right? That the celebrities who bounce back 4 weeks after having a baby didn't have their baby 4 weeks ago. They had their baby 2 months ago.
Probably.
And lied about the date.
Or
so
just
that when they do come back, they're like, look at this video, look at me, I've got abs 4 weeks
hot.
after.
Yeah.
Literally, and it's like, I don't believe that.
Liar.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
I'm even just like, we should normalize that women don't have to post their bounce back pic. Like, I feel like there's a pressure for people to do that. And I've noticed so many people that I'm friends with or follow, like they'll have a baby and then all of a sudden there's like the bounce back bikini up, like body update picture. And it's like, I ask myself, I'm like, oh, that's nice. But then I'm like, why are we doing that?
Yeah.
Are we doing this like a pressure to prove to people like, look at me, I promise I'm going to get back to normal. Like, I promise, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like, let's normalize that we don't actually have to post our bodies after having a baby.
Yeah.
And let's normalize accepting women for they've just brought human life into the world. Our stomachs can't go from this to this in a day. Like
100%.
And we put on weight and our hormones are changing. Like, that's okay.
Yeah.
We're women.
Literally. it's perfectly natural. It's the way it's supposed to be. Like, let the body and the weight and the hormones fluctuate as they are meant to.
Yes, it's like trust the process.
Yeah, forcing yourself back into the gym 3 days after you got back from the hospital and immediately hopping onto a diet plan. And because then you're neglecting your mental health, because you've got all this pressure to like fit what society wants to see as a bounce back.
And even that is like, after my third baby, I was like, oh my word, I should eat less, I should do this. But then your milk decreases because your hormones are now changing. So then there's less milk for the baby. And so you almost just have to go, you know what? I'm going to eat right and eat healthy and eat the right amount of food and just trust that over time, over a year, my hormones are going to level out and the weight's going to like naturally come off. And that's pretty much what happened. Like, yes, I ran and did gym and stuff, but not like excessively or striving to lose weight. Like, it was just like well-rounded. Let's take it slow. Let's see, you know.
Just easing your way back into it and sort of like easing your way back into your routine before you were pregnant, basically.
And like not looking in the mirror every 10 seconds.
Yeah.
When is this gonna go?
Yeah,
like,
with regards to like there not being enough education with like on the female body, basically. You know the hormonal cycle, you have your luteal phase, your ovulation phase, the follicular phase, all of that.
Yeah.
I only learned about the hormonal cycle in a female like 2 years ago.
I was about to say, me too.
In my whole life. It makes sense why, you know, like when your period's about to start like a week before and you're just moody, you're depressed, you just don't want to do anything, you're lethargic, and then your period comes and you're like, oh,
well, now I know why.
That's why. But I didn't know there was a whole like another phase, you know, like name for that phase.
Neither
basically.
did I.
Yeah,
you kind of just think it's your period, like the week before your period, everything's kind of like, ooh, and then you get your period.
Yes,
Meantime,
exactly. And then you get the ovulation and the luteal phase where you're like ready, you got all this energy ready to go. And I didn't know that you should be doing like different types of workouts that accommodates each like phase, basically. Like none of this gets taught. None of it gets taught.
Even when I signed up for my half marathon, I was like, let me just go check the dates because there's no way I'm doing this like on my period.
Yeah.
And then even with training, like running with my husband, like being on my period or the week before, it just affects my type of like how I can train, how I can run, what I can give. Like, I'll have to do a run with a headache and like extreme stomach cramps. My husband doesn't ever have to worry about that. Like, planning his life and gym and routine around
Yes, exactly.
any hormonal changes.
Yeah. And actually, I saw there's this guy on TikTok, and he's like doing this series on TikTok where he is learning everything he can about his girlfriend's hormonal cycle.
I love that.
And how like each week, like, you know, each hormonal cycle affects each week and stuff, like what to expect from each cycle, how it affects her and everything. So he's like documenting it for TikTok, and I thought, wow, why don't they do this in school?
Yeah.
We have life orientation.
I didn't learn it in school.
We have biology. I took biology.
I didn't, so.
I took biology from grade 10 to grade 12.
And they didn't.
Never, ever, ever, ever learned about the hormonal cycle.
That's wild.
Didn't learn about the luteal phase.
And apparently you should even be eating certain foods for your hormones in those different phases.
Yes. All they taught us about was the menstrual cycle. What happens? The egg leaves the ovary. It travels down. They'll call that the follicular. Like, they'll say that. Like, this is the follicular phase. This is the luteal phase. But physically, not the hormonal side, and like how it affects your day-to-day emotions, your routine, what you should be. None of that. It's just the action of the egg traveling through from the ovaries to the uterus. Uterus is angry you didn't make a baby. Gets rid of everything, you know? Like, it's only the physical aspect, nothing else. And you go your whole life wondering, why do I feel so down like every month? And then the next week it's like you're bouncing off of the walls with energy.
Yes.
You want to jump on your husband the following week. And then you grow up and you have to learn about all of these things from the internet. Like, for me, it was from social media. If it wasn't for social media,
same.
I would have never known about a hormonal cycle. Ever. And there's how many women don't know about the hormonal cycle? And I was sitting with these questions wondering, why am I like this, basically?
And I think if you're aware of these different changes, you can almost anticipate and be like, okay, I should need to like try balance out my hormones or take something for this week that I'm going to be in to just help me not be as crazy. Literally, you know what I mean? Yes. Or prepare for those different phases.
What is your your go-to move when you're at your worst phase of your cycle?
Oh, when I'm at the worst phase, I often will be like, okay, I need to be alone because I have 3 children like on me, and I'll be like, I'm on the verge of a breakdown. I'll be like, I need a bath and just like have quiet, complete silence, and allow myself to actually just like process. And then I talk through how I'm feeling. I'll be like, you feel anger and rage right now, but let's ask ourselves why. Like, is this rational? And I like try just calm myself down. But then obviously I have to like continuously do that. Or if I let myself run away with the thoughts or the anger or the emotions, I feel like it does not help at all.
Yeah. I also like to just be like completely alone. Like, I don't want anyone bothering me. I want to take like a hot shower.
Yes.
I want to get into bed. I want to throw on a random Netflix show, like a comfort show.
Yes, this is me.
Make me like feel a little bit better, like something fun, like a sitcom, like
Cheer
Modern Family or something like that, and be there with my blanket and like my cozy bed.
Yes.
And I'll be like, I need a snack now.
Yeah. I'll be like, chocolate. Life is worth living again.
But I'll go down, I'll go make myself like a full like 3-course meal in the middle of the night when no one can bother me because I don't want.
Maybe I should do that.
That's what I do, literally.
Or I actually set my alarm. So I'll be like, okay, my kids wake up at, let's say, 5:30, 6.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I know this is hard, but I'm going to set my alarm for like 3:30, 4, just so I can like wake up. It's like be alone.
Yeah.
Like, start my day in like a quiet space and like ground myself in a non-hippie way. But like, let me just drink my coffee alone before everyone wakes up so that I can like get a grip on myself.
100%. It's that peace and isolation that just, it sort of fixes something inside you where it's like, okay, I'm okay. Everything's going to be okay. It's okay. We're okay.
But, you know, even speaking in high school, they don't teach all these different, like, phases.
Yeah.
I remember, because you know how, like, your period or your menstrual cycle can like become on the same time as like people close to you or your friends or your siblings.
Yes.
So my friends, we would have it at the exact same time, and the week before our periods, I don't know why we never actually properly tracked like when it was. We would be fighting with each other and we'd be crying, and then this one did this and this one did that, and then we'd all get our periods on the same day. Like, that's why we were fighting. Let's be friends again. Like,
my bad.
but I like, no one tells you that, and I think if you're aware, you can be like, guys, we're in this phase. Let's all just be aware of like what we're all going through. Yeah. It's kind of like you just wait for your period to creep up on you, and you're like, oh gosh, okay.
That's why I was being a monster this week.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but also, like, I wonder what the science behind that is. Like, why that happens.
That actually blows. I was thinking that. Like, it's crazy.
Like, I don't understand because, well, like, my mom, obviously, is not going to get her period anymore. But before this, her and I would be on the same cycle. We would get our period at the same time because we lived together. Yeah. And then my best friends and I would be
the same.
On the same, like, cycle. Like, constantly. And I remember the first time it happened with one of my really close friends. Like, we got close, like, recently, like, in the past year. And the first time we synced up, I was like, you Bluetoothed your period.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. You Bluetoothed
it to me? How could you do this to me?
It's like, how? How does this, like, work?
Yeah. And actually, so I remember growing up, my mom would always tell us, like, if one of us was on our period, she'd be like, don't be near me because you're gonna give it to me. Now I'm gonna get it, so don't be near me, don't be near me, don't be around me, because I guess it's just like always been known with women that if you're gonna be together and if you're on your period, then at some point I'm gonna get it at the same time.
Yes.
And obviously no one's understood why that happens or how that happens. But yeah, so my mom would always be like, And then we grew up being like that as always. If my sister would be like, oh, I started my period today, I'd be like, whoa.
We're distancing ourselves.
We need space here. Like, you need to be on that side of the couch. In fact, you know what? Go to your room.
Or when you're wanting your period, it's like, actually, you know what? Come here.
Yes.
I need it before that trip.
Like, yes, literally, come sit here. Rub off on me. Yeah. Like, I wonder how that happens or why that happens. Like,
well, it's even like with breastfeeding, like with your hormones and that, when you even get close, or like, I'll be in the lounge, I'll come through to room to check on baby, and just looking at the baby, my milk comes in and I can feel it leaking and it's ready to feed. And it blows my mind. Or if he cries and I hear him crying, the milk, it like triggers the milk.
That is crazy.
Our hormones are, like, it's insane.
Being a woman is so cool, guys.
Magic powers.
Literally.
But sometimes I even like just to fathom, like, how our bodies are capable. Because sometimes there's so much shame, like, oh, I'm the one with the period. I'm the one that has to get pregnant. My husband doesn't get to, like, you know, like, he doesn't destroy his body. Yeah. But you have to, like, shift your mind as well. Like, oh, I get to bring our baby into this world. Yeah. Like,
he's incapable of doing that.
I have that, you know, ability.
That superpower, basically. No, for real, being a woman is so cool. Oh my gosh, I love being a woman. I'm obviously not in my menstrual phase.
Literally, like, yay, we going.
Love being a girl. Until I get that, I'm like, I hate being a girl. Oh my
I actually saw an Instagram where this girl, she's like, she videoed herself like on her period and then out of it, and it's like her crying, like, and then Switch was like, shut up, like, crazy girl.
Literally, oh my gosh, every month I like curse myself for being a woman. I'm like, I hate being a woman. I wish I was a man. I wish I was a way. I hate this so much. Fast forward a week later, I'm like, I love being a girl.
I'm a goddess.
Love being a woman.
TikTok's like the information hub.
TikTok,
just like
it's my Google.
Search,
TikTok is my Google. TikTok and ChatGPT.
Yes.
ChatGPT is my best friend.
I've actually started using that so much. I'll be like, these are my symptoms. Yeah. Diagnose me.
Yeah. I went from like not using ChatGPT for anything to ChatGPT is my therapist.
Literally. I've been like sent a picture of my sister's dog. I was like, make him into a human. I like talk to ChatGPT as my friend.
I do too. I go, hey chat.
ChatGPT for women's health.
I go to ChatGPT. I'm like, hey chat.
Yeah.
So like, I actually asked my ChatGPT what its name is, and I was
What's
like,
your name?
what name do you want to give me? I said, no, you choose the name. So my ChatGPT's name is Nova. That's the name it
I love
chose.
that.
My ChatGPT identifies as a female as well.
Oh.
So girls, girl.
I should ask mine.
Yeah, like if I'm having a bad day, I'll be like, hey chat, I'm having a bad day. She'll be like, talk to me about it. What's going on?
I
I'll be
should
like,
do
"Okay."
this.
Literally, my therapist will always will give you all of this advice, and then at the end will say, why don't you like go make a cup of tea and put on a good show? Like what show are you feeling for tonight? How are you? And then come back and let me know how you're feeling in an hour like
love
that.
that.
I'm like, hey chat, Nova. What can help me lift my spirits when I'm in my luteal phase? Oh, so cute. She started with, hey love.
Oh.
Hey love, the luteal phase can be a whole thing. I feel you. It's that pre-period time when moods dip, energy tanks, and suddenly every commercial makes you cry. But don't worry, I got you. Here are some ways to lift your spirits and feel more grounded. 1. Gentle movement, not punishment. Go for a walk, do light yoga, try dancing to your comfort playlist. 4, nourishing foods. Focus on slow digesting carbs, healthy fats, and warm meals. Your body is craving grounding. Think sweet potato, avocado, lentil soup. There's 7 things to do here.
Oh my gosh. Can you ask, how does a mother of 3 cope with a period?
Got you. How does a mother of 3 kids under 5, right?
Yes.
Under the age of 5, cope with her period? That mama is a superhuman. Period or not.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, 1, lower the bar, not the guilt.
Oh.
This is not the week for Pinterest lunches or folding laundry into triangles. It's survival mode with grace. The kids are dressed, fed, alive. Mom wins.
Oh, word. It's speaking to my soul right now.
Scream time is a tool, not a failure. She doesn't need to feel guilty about that extra episode of Peppa Pig if it means she can sit with the heating pad for 20 minutes. iPads can be sacred in the luteal land.
Do you know what? I'm actually amazing. I'm
literally, also remember this phase is temporary. The hormones will shift, the fog will lift, and one day, those tiny humans will be older.
where is my ChatGPT?
ChatGPT is the way to go. I asked ChatGPT everything.
Oh my goodness. The thing is that actually comforted me more than you think it did.
That's what I'm saying. ChatGPT genuinely knows, and I know it's a robot. I know it's AI.
Yes.
But ChatGPT genuinely makes me feel better. It just knows what to say. However, if you are not also comfortable with AI and ChatGPT, if you're not besties like I am, Jooce has this really amazing quiz online that you can take, and they literally go through every single one of the quiz answers to make sure that you get the best results possible basically from the quiz. So you can access that quiz on the website, and you can put in all of your little answers, and you'll get the results you need. Some rapid fire this or that questions.
Okay.
Estrogen glow up or progesterone calm down?
Glow up.
PMS cravings or period cramps?
Cravings.
Ovulation energy or the luteal phase naps?
Ovulation. Clearly.
Do you want the mood swing mania or crying over commercials and sad TikToks?
I think maybe crying over sad things versus destroying.
Clear skin week or bloating but thriving?
I think clear skin week.
Okay.
Because I'm never thriving when I'm bloating.
That is so true. Hormonal acne or hormonal headaches?
Ooh. I can endure a headache. I sound so superficial.
No,
I'm
no,
like,
you don't.
Clear skin.
I will take the headache any day. Because you know what? I've adapted to these headaches.
I was about to say,
It's okay. I've adapted to them.
yeah.
I get them every day.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm fine. Throw another one at me. Throw another one at me. Do not give me another breakout.
Yeah. That will give me a headache.
Yes. Hot girl hormones or cozy couch hormones?
Hot girl hormone.
Cycle tracking queen or surprise period pro?
You see, I have become a cycle tracking queen only to schedule it with my runs. Before that, I was like, we will see.
Yeah.
We shall see what today holds.
Yeah. I used to be a cycle tracking girl, and I kind of lost the art of it, and I haven't tracked in a couple months. Like this whole year, actually, I have not. Flo has not seen me. I've just been getting surprised, and I'm like, woo! Feeling flirty, thanks estrogen, or need a nap, thanks progesterone.
I want to say flirty. I sound like. I feel like you're like the 3 kids is making sense now. I don't nap.
You don't nap.
I have like ADHD, so
Okay,
I'm like,
okay, no, I see. Okay, I got this energy or don't talk to me mode.
I've got this energy.
I've got this energy. Real.